everyone, my name is Yari Garcia and I am a corporate recruiter here at the Not Worldwide, and welcome to Learn a Latte. Today I'm being joined by Michelle lead enterprise product manager, where we'll be learning a little bit about her, her role, her growing team, and how you can be part of it. Michelle, thank you so much for taking the time out to join us and to give potential candidates out there an inside look into the enterprise systems team. Let's start with the basics. Tell us about your background. I know you have a long history with TKWW. I'd love to hear how you got into your role.
Yeah, thank you so much, Yari. I'm very excited to talk about the growing enterprise team. So I started at Wedding Wire, it was at the time, 8 years ago, my first job out of college in the sales team, and grew from that role into a sales operations role where I was responsible for helping with efficiency and compliance and business rules for our sales team. As part of the sales operations team, I was heavily involved in a systems integration that happened when Wedding Wire merged with a similar company out of Europe. And as I learned those systems, that became very pivotal in the integration between Wedding Wire and the Knot, which happened in 2019. And due to my experience with the systems integration prior, was moved into a product management role on enterprise to help with the merging of the systems between Wedding Wire and the Knot. And we've now become TKWW, and that's how I ended up here on the enterprise team.
All right, awesome. So right now, how does the enterprise team have a larger impact on the organization?
Yeah, so the enterprise team is responsible for leveraging technology to help our colleagues do their jobs. So for example, Salesforce is one of the tools that we administer for our sales team. It's our CRM. It's how our sales team knows who it is that they are doing business with, can track their sales, can track their client relationships, and ultimately help to close revenue for our business. So the enterprise team is working with multiple different stakeholder teams across our organization to make sure that they can do their jobs efficiently, effectively, and also with a lens towards security and compliance for our organization.
Okay, awesome. And Michelle, I know that you manage quite a few people on your team. So what is your management style like?
So I think that my role as a manager is really to help facilitate what it is that my direct reports need to get done. I expect a lot of ownership from the people on my team, and I want to make sure that I'm helping them actually achieve the things that they are responsible for. So that includes unblocking issues that they need to get past. It includes communication across the org to make sure that I am helping them get the answers that they need in order to facilitate their decision making. Ultimately, though, the product managers within enterprise are responsible for the tools and the business processes that they need to deliver. And I really see my job as helping them get that done and making sure that they are able to fully own those responsibilities.
So I do have a question that I've always been kind of a little bit curious about. So what would you say is the best thing or the biggest difference between being a PM on the enterprise or as opposed to a different squad?
Yeah, I like that question a lot. So what's universal about product management is really using technology to solve human problems and understanding what those problems are. So product managers, no matter what their technology, really need to understand their end users' goals and issues and struggles and help to use technology to get past those problems. What's unique about enterprise is that our end user that's our colleagues. So we really can see the impact of that work directly. We are using internal tooling to solve problems for our internal teams. Product managers interface with their users through a lot of different avenues, be that user research, survey, feedback, but we really get to get that reaction very immediately and see the impact that we're having on people that we know and work with every day, which is very exciting.
Can you tell me a little bit about what your day-to-day looks like who you're working with, whether it be your team members or stakeholders in the business?
Yeah, so obviously I'm working with my direct reports and my product team, and like I mentioned before, kind of helping to make sure that they are unblocked, that they have the tools that they need to make the important decisions that they're responsible for. But I think something that's very can be unique to product development is that there is a very strong partnership with tech. So what that means in practice is that a lot of the leadership is happening with a partner. And that's a really great way to work on a team, because you always have someone to bounce ideas off of. You always have someone whose opinion that you trust, that you really can come to a consensus, someone who's going to check your assumptions. That partner for me is the leader of our enterprise engineering org, Matt Tuigo. And it's been very fruitful to have that partnership. And that's modeled across the different teams that we each oversee, that there is a product and tech partnership. And on the stakeholder side, we are right now working on a cross-functional project to modernize our internal technology. And that spans multiple teams, but has a very significant impact on sales operations and accounting. So I work very closely with our Vice President of Operations, Ariane Ferranti, as well as our Global Controller, Kim Estes. And it's really been exciting to dig into how we can work as a team across these different functions to make our entire organization more efficient. They're very engaged with the project, and I get to learn a lot from them by doing it with them.
Yeah, and I know that you also work with international teams and with teams across different offices. So what's that like?
Yeah, so it's been great to work with our international team, specifically our tech team in Barcelona, and our operations team there. I've had the privilege of traveling to our office in Barcelona. Look forward to traveling to our different international offices again when the opportunity arises. And have learned a ton from them about how our international org achieves efficiencies. And as we look towards the future, really being able to leverage the different learnings from our international team as well as our domestic team in the US, and come together with more holistic global processes that we can implement across the org.
Okay, thank you for that, Michelle. We're going to transition now into questions about your current open role. Currently on Michelle's team, we have a enterprise product manager role open that we would really love to fill with hopefully one of you guys. So Michelle, could you tell us a little bit about what you are looking for in a enterprise product manager?
Our enterprise product manager role that we currently have open will specifically be supporting our accounting team. So the most straightforward thing that we are looking for off the bat is someone who does have experience with accounting. Now, that could be having worked on an accounting team in the past, or worked with accounting as a stakeholder in a product management role or a business analyst role or something similar. Understanding the unique challenges that an accounting team has. There's a lot of compliance requirements for accounting. There's very specific things that technology needs to achieve for an accounting team. So some basic understanding of that, really being able to partner and understand their needs. I would say what I look for across enterprise product management, so not unique to the specific team that the role is supporting, is very strong communication. This is a role that really needs to help groups come to a consensus. It's a role that needs to be able to ask the right questions to understand really what the crux of the problem is that we're trying to solve. It's a role that needs to be able to explain very detailed technology specifics to non-technical stakeholders, and vice versa, be able to explain very specific business needs to our technical partners. And sometimes that communication can be at senior leadership level, at exec level. So really being able to tailor the communication to the audience and help wide-ranging stakeholders come to consensus. And then the other piece of this is just extreme ownership. I've talked before about my management style, which is helping to unblock, but it is not directing. It is not saying, okay, here's what we need to execute, now go execute. I expect a product manager to really help uncover what it is that we need to be doing to solve the problems of our stakeholder teams. And so I'm looking for someone who really wants to dive in, to take accountability, and to really move this progress forward.
Yes, awesome. So what would a career path for this role look like? And what skills would they be able to learn throughout their trajectory?
Yeah, so I think there's a wide range of skills that you grow as a product manager. Leadership is a huge piece of product management, even if you aren't actually people managing anyone else. I talked about the communication piece, and getting people to come to a consensus. Sometimes that's a lot harder when you don't actually have the management aspect of it. You're not managing the people who you really need to get in a room and align. And so just the growth in leadership opportunity, I think, is huge in a product management career path. The way that we measure success here, and ultimately promote within product management is very simple. It's impact. What impact are we having on the business? There's other aspects, certainly leadership, certainly teamwork. But when we look at, what does it mean to be a successful product manager? Did we really move the needle on our ability to help our teams be successful, efficient, compliant, secure? Did we use technology to make them more successful at what they're trying to do? Are they succeeding in spite of the technology, or is the technology helping them succeed? And the more impact that we can have in really aligning our technology with the goals of our stakeholder teams, I think it equates to growth within this role.
Yeah, okay. So Michelle, could you tell us a little bit about who the enterprise product manager will be working with?
Absolutely. So within our team, this enterprise product manager would sit on the financial systems team, which is part of enterprise overall. And I mentioned the product and tech partnership that we have throughout the prod dev organization. And that shows up within the financial systems team as well. So working in very close partnership with our director of financial systems on the technical side, who really has a fundamental, deep, thorough understanding of the tools that we leverage and how they can be used to solve our business problems. And this enterprise product manager would really fill the void of helping to get deep on understanding what those problems are by working with our accounting team. So that includes our VP of accounting, our CFO, our global controller, our assistant global controller. So these are teammates who are responsible for really guiding accounting throughout the entire global organization. There would also be a lot of interaction with our international accounting team out of Barcelona. So very exciting opportunity to work across tech, across accounting, and across all of our offices as well.
All right, sounds like a great opportunity. So what would a new hire find most challenging about an enterprise product manager role?
Yeah, so I think this is a role that really has to go broad and go deep. And so it's the right trade-off of those two things. If you're too deep on any one particular problem, you're going to miss other problems that we need to solve. But if you're too broad and not able to go deep enough, then, do we have a deep enough understanding of, say, the accounting needs that we need to work towards solving? Or do we have a deep enough understanding of how we can leverage this technology and work with our tech partners to come towards a solution? And so it's always a trade-off. Any prioritization is a trade-off, but really finding the right balance. And that takes time. It takes understanding the technology that we're using. It takes understanding the org structure and what our goals are. But being able to find that balance of both breadth of knowledge, but also depth of knowledge.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Michelle. So Michelle, as always, it has been a pleasure. Thank you again so much for joining us here at Learn a Latte. I will link Michelle's LinkedIn down below and mine as well, since I'm the recruiter for this role. If you'd like to make a connection. Michelle, any closing remarks?
Well, thank you so much, Yari. I certainly hope that anyone watching has learned a latte. And I'm very excited to talk to the talented folks who are interested in enterprise product management, learn about their backgrounds, and explain more about what we do. Very excited to be growing this team.
Thank you all for watching, and see you next time. Bye.